queers! What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today, we are continuing our discussion of Gap the Series, the podcast edition. Sorry, High School Musical has like Ruby forever with these titles. Anyway, we're continuing Gap the Series, and today we are starting off with episode 3, and we will see how far we get. So, first thing I wanted to bring up with this episode, this is a super gay episode. Not that they all aren't, but this one's pretty good. So, the first thing I want to point out is I think that we have Sam's first truth that she ever says to Mon, because we were ranting about the fact that Sam cannot speak her truth to Mom. To Mon, and that causes some problems. So we get our first slip up and their first selfie, both which are notable. So basically the two of them are working late, as they do. I feel like they work late as excuses to be around each other. Or at least Sam does. And Mon is like genuinely trying to work, and Sam's like, yeah, I'm doing business stuff. A business with who? All your clients are sleeping. But anyway. So to de-stress, Mon takes her to this garden after work, which first of all is adorable. She's like, you need to de-stress. Let me take you out into nature where you can't possibly be anxious. And like, it works because Mon's actually pretty smooth and she doesn't have no idea that she is. So I love it. So it gets her to relax. And Sam's like, yeah, I actually do feel relaxed. And then she says, I feel so relaxed when you're near. Like, she says it out loud. She's not facing Mon, but she does say it. So like, that's the first like truth she ever like vocalizes to Mon, like about Mon, which I think is huge. And then Mon is obviously affected by this. She's like, okay, oh my god, my crush likes me, or my idol, whatever. She likes me. Okay, cool. Because again, the last episode, she's like, what the fuck do you want from me? And like, she's like, oh, you want to be around me, which I think is what the whole fucking clusterfuck was about. So yeah, so Mon's like, okay, cool. I want to remember this moment forever. So let's take photos. So she tries taking photos of Sam, and Sam admits, she's like, I hate taking photos. Like, hates it. And like, you can see that her friends know this too in other scenes where like they take group photos without Sam, because I think they know Sam hates it, because she probably has to do it for like PR reasons for like the royal family or whatever. So she's probably like, I hate doing this, but I'm forced to do it by my grandmother. So like, it's kind of like separation of like work and personal life, where she's like, on my own time, I don't want to be taking photos. But it's Mon, and Mon's like, no, come on. Well, how about we take photos together? We'll take a selfie together. That way, like, we're doing it together. It's not just you. And Sam's like, okay. So it's so cute. So this whole outing is adorable. It's like a lot of firsts for the both of them, which I think is really adorable. So I think this whole sequence is just really cute. And it also is more evidence that the two of them are just useless lesbians, which is partially why I love the show so much, because it's like one of my favorite things ever. Because like, Sam is so useless when they're taking the photos. Because Mon's like, okay, and like Mon is like smiling at the camera and like posing and like doing all this stuff. And Sam is just staring at Mon. And like, Mon's taking photos. And I'm like, Sam, girl, do you not know? She obviously doesn't know how to take a selfie because she never has. But she's like, I'm going to look at her. And I'm like, girl, that's on camera now. Other notable thing is that when the whole night is done and Mon's like, okay, I'll send you the photos, but I'm going to go now. And Mon leaves. And after she sends her the photos, after Sam looks at them, we get like the first genuine smile from Sam. And it looks a lot like that first smile that like enchanted Mon to begin with, which is, again, it's like that the mask is falling. The mask is slowly starting to fall. And it's right now it's private moments for Sam. But still, I have to imagine that she's so obedient when it comes to the grandmother and like living the life she wants, that Sam doesn't even let herself slip up by herself. So like, I feel like this is really, I can't imagine the last time she's like genuinely smiled like this, which is so sad.
You said the word enchanted again.
I know.
It was finally out of my head, Theora.
Haha. I mean, look at how this was all like shot and like the lighting, like it is very like fairy tale like, and the cinematography is on point. The references write themselves.
Basically everything is a Taylor Swift song.
I agree. You know what isn't a Taylor Swift song? Kirk and Sam's relationship, because what is their relationship is my question.
Kirk trying so hard.
but like not what Sam wants.
No. And she very openly is like, I'm not into you. Like, she very much tells him, like they have this scene where they're alone in her office and they're kind of talking about, like, I guess the company in a way. And Sam admits that, like, he's like playing along. He's like, oh, isn't marrying me going to be like your source of happiness? And she's like, no. Like, she's very frank with him that she's like, you do not make me happy at all. Like, when I think of happiness, I don't think about you.
Mm-hmm.
And he like brushes it off and like jokes about it. But like, I have to imagine she's always like this with him. So I'm like, what? How? The writing is so clearly written on the wall for this man, and he just like goes along with it, which I find odd because like he doesn't seem like a gold digger to me. Like he seems like he genuinely does care about her, like you said, Cole. But it's just like, wow, like this is so much rejection being thrown at him constantly, and he's just like still chugging along for like years, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I also, while yes, I think he does have like care for her, I think it's more that he's known her for such a long time versus like actually having real romantic feelings. I mean, he might, but I think it is about like what her family can do for him and the status that he can get by coming into this family.
Yeah, I agree with. I also think he, on some level, maybe he's terrified of her grandmother.
Oh,
Well, the grandmother is terrifying.
Yeah, and like he's not of noble anything, so like, you know, he's not on the same level with them. So for her to like, I guess, approve of him to marry her granddaughter is like the ultimate honor, because he's very much planning the wedding. Like later, he's like planning the wedding with the grandmother. He goes and sees the grandmother. Like he's very much playing that role. And he does try to be affectionate with Sam sometimes, but she shuts him down every time. And like again, here flat out tells him like, I'm not into you. And the way they played this scene where he was just like, haha, yeah, whatever, it gave me I'm your beard vibes. And I thought that he was a willing beard for like the longest time, but he's not. That's why I was like confused. I'm like, what exactly is this relationship? It's just, it's really odd. And he does go and the whole thing with, I don't know that it's just like he's a gold digger in a way. I think there's something else, because he does go through like extreme lengths to make the company thing work for Sam, which Sam admits is what makes her happy. So he does like have a vested interest in her being happy. If he was literally just after the title, he would want this to fail so that she would marry him faster. That's why it's like their relationship seems kind of complicated, and like sorting it out is kind of hard, which makes it fun. But I don't know, their relationship is very interesting to me because it's like, it seems like a clusterfuck, I guess is what I'm saying. All right, speaking of clusterfuck, do you have something, Kaitlynn?
No, I don't get it either.
Yeah, it doesn't matter in the end. It's just, I find them in their relationship interesting.
He just seems like a golden retriever type person.
Right.
He's just like happy to be there.
Right.
And like happy to be a part of this, and is like kind of scheming on the side, but like also just like hanging out. Like he is there for the ride as long as the ride will let him on it. Like,
you know, that's a great way to put it.
I think he's more like a baby horse. Like eager. This is apparently what a baby horse in my head is like. Okay. So
do it.
Very happy to see everybody, but like knocks everything down in its path. Like he's like trying to help, but then like goes behind her back and is like helping a competitor by accident.
Yeah. We didn't say he was bright.
Yeah.
Like a golden retriever. They're not the smartest, but they're happy to be there. They're genuinely adorable and like sunshine, but he's not the brightest. I have thoughts on his whole thing, the scheming. He says it's to help her, which I think he genuinely believes it is, but ultimately he's not. But I like your interpretations. He's just a little animal that wants to like be along for the ride. And Sam is just like the owner that never gives him treats. Like ever. So I'm like, why are you still? Again, it's like you're saying, Cole, it's like a power thing where he's like if it's because she's more of a challenge, he's like, well, I'm more invested now because I need to please her.
Mm-hmm. Have either of you ever seen the movie Strays that was like just in the theaters?
No.
Okay.
I know the premise though.
But it's basically the owner who like keeps trying to throw this dog out and like drove like 2 hours away, and the dog keeps finding its way back. It's so mean to the dog, but the dog keeps coming back and thinks it's them loving him.
Yes.
So I think that one.
Strays. Mm-hmm. They got Strays vibes. Okay. So speaking of things that aren't healthy, let's talk about Sam's office etiquette, because she is an HR nightmare. Like a nightmare for HR, which her HR person, Noi, you should be fired because you do not do a good job, girl. Sam should be like disciplined 100 times over by 8. She has an HR department at her company, and then she commits so many HR violations.
Can they tell the boss off?
HR? Yeah, they should be able to. They're kind of like their own like independent like little thing. Absolutely. But
not at this company.
Not at this company. I don't know what HR does in this company. That's
nothing.
Maybe it's like my last company, whose HR was just like another employee who like knew a few things and just got thrown into it because everybody kept quitting.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no way for you.
Sounds about right.
But Sam could just fire her and save the money because the company's failing. So there's that. Anyway, no one said Sam was a good businesswoman either because I don't understand the company. But it doesn't matter. Let's talk about her HR crimes. So in this episode, this is where like Mon's getting ready to launch like her first thing on Diversity Pop, and then the competitor launches it first because Kirk is being a bad golden retriever, basically, and like showed Sam's entire hand to the competitor, and the competitor was like fantastic, and then published it as their own because plagiarism. And so obviously they find out about this, and Sam's like, what the fuck? So then Sam is 0 to 100 at all times. So she like immediately goes into like, I must kill somebody mode, and like interrogates the whole office, like Spanish Inquisition style. And because of this content leak,
it's so funny.
So then we get to Mon. It's hilarious. Like, it's comedy gold. Like, everybody like saying their truths. Noise is my favorite. If you remember that one, where basically when she got drunk at the company party, she was saying all this stuff about how she wants to marry Kirk and like ruin their wedding. And it was taped by Chin, and Chin's like, I look at this when I want to laugh. And like, so she thought Sam saw it and was like confessing this whole video. And Sam's like, at the end, she's like, what video? And it gave me like, have you ever seen Parks and Rec?
Parts of it.
So there's a scene where Leslie Knope, the main character, is on trial, and she has to have character witnesses. And one of them is Andy, played by Chris Pratt. And he's the most golden retriever to ever golden retriever. And he's in there, again, character witness for her. And he's saying all this stuff. He's like, hey, I'm really sorry about the keyboard. Like, you know, I took the laptop home. I spilled spaghetti on it. I'm going to bring it back. And then the guy interrogating him, who's his boss, like stops him and he's like, what laptop? That's not why you're here. It gave me the same energy. Like, I need to put those clips side by side because it was the same energy. And I'm like, oh my God.
But it was like everybody in the office were just confessing to things.
All these crimes.
That had nothing to do with what she actually was trying to get them to say. And they're like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Right. Like, it's so funny.
Great.
Oh my God. So then we get to Mon. Mon's interrogation, which this is where the HR atrocities come into place. First of all, she starts touching Mon's face, which she's your employee. That is 100% not okay to like touch your employee's face behind closed doors in your office.
I feel like not the only thing they do behind closed doors in their office, though.
No, but like here we are in episode 3. Why isn't HR here during these interrogations?
That's a good question.
That's how they should go down. There is again, this whole situation like robs Mon of autonomy because her boss, who's interrogating her, and it's like your job is on the line if you like aren't truthful with me, is like being inappropriate. I understand like it's consensual in a way, but like on the surface, this is not okay. Then we get into like they start talking, and like I think Mon kind of lets it slip a little bit that like again she like knew Sam from the past, and Sam's like, what are you talking about? Like this is weird. And so like Mon in this conversation has the opportunity to be like, yeah, we knew each other, but she doesn't. I don't know why Mon keeps this a secret for so long. I can't really figure out why she does that. Like, she had a genuine opportunity in the scene to be like, yeah, we met. Here's the dog. Like, why did she balk so long on that? I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Like, just tell her that you met her when you were younger.
Right. It's not like you knew each other that well, or like...
It's not like she wronged her. You took in the dog.
Totally. Like, you did a Girl Scout move. Like, get some brownie points here. Being like, I took care of your dog, remember me? So you can trust me. Like, this was a perfect opportunity to be like, you definitely can trust me. You trusted me with your dog. Like, Mon underutilized the dog thing. And this, God damn it, Mon. Okay.
Dog deserved better.
The dog did. The dog deserved more screen time. This would have been great. Okay, so then after this conversation where Mon's like, "Wow, I can't even believe you think I'm the one that did this because I made the content. Why the fuck would I give it to somebody else? Like, this is insane." Sam's like, "Okay, whatever." So then she's like, "Well, in order to make sure you're not the mole, you need to work with me one-on-one." Like. And then, it's like, okay, you need to work with me one-on-one. And then, threatens her. She threatens her immediately. She's like, well, if you don't agree to do this, I'm going to fire you, even though you're not the mole. And that's this is where I have a problem with the employee-employer thing. Because, Sam is wielding her power as the employer to get Mon to do what she wants, which takes the agency away from Mon, which is exactly what her grandmother was doing to her. So, learned bad behavior, perhaps. I don't like this aspect of their relationship. It's not just that they have the power imbalance, it's that Sam wields it against Mon, outwardly, and threatens her. I don't like that.
I see this slightly different. Not that what you're saying is incorrect, because yes, there is a power imbalance if you're looking at it in an actual... it is media, so people emulate what happens in the media and all that kind of stuff as well. So I don't want to minimize what you're bringing up, because it is very important and it is something that needs to be talked about. But I also see here a very attractive situation. This is the setup to a porn. It's
right,
that is what this is setting up, is you have to work with me on this project, because otherwise how can I keep an eye on you? And just the most dramatic, trying to flirt, once again, very poorly flirting with Sam, very poorly flirting with Mon. And so to me, while everything you said is 100% true, this also kind of touches on the sexy aspect of a power dynamic imbalance type thing, and what it could lead to kind of thing. So you can't negate what you're saying, but it's also kind of hot. And
okay, I'm gonna stop you though. I think I know what you're saying. But how would you feel about the situation if Sam was a man and doing this? Does that change it? Because to me, that would change it.
That would change it.
It makes it worse. Mm-hmm. Especially because where this goes is Sam taking Mon home with her to work.
Oh, yeah. No. Again, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong in the slightest. I agree with you. But it's still hot. In this situation.
Pretty lady with power. I understand.
Yeah.
When it's a woman, though.
I know, yeah.
It's but she's a pretty woman who obviously is flirting poorly. Yes, I agree. There, you could excuse things when it's two women. It does change the dynamic. But to people who are no, it's great. I'm if Sam was a man, would you feel the same way about the scene? Because I would be more mad about it than I was when I originally... She's threatening... She's Mon, who's worked so hard to get to this job, and then to be if you don't do what I say, I'm going to fire you. She's constantly saying that to her, but then to be spend time with me at my house or I'll fire you. It's she crosses a lot of HR red tape.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Just I could do without that.
None of what Sam does in the first half of the series is okay. I just think it's creepy and unprofessional.
I think as we get past this episode, it gets less bad. Because Mon is like, I'm into this now, and it gets less weird. But here with the threatening stuff, that's when I have a problem with like their employee situation. Especially because she has HR. Where's HR? Why is HR not in this meeting?
No, absolutely. Again,
Sam.
I 100% agree with what you're saying. I do understand, like, it like in a actual, not just in a show even, and you're right, if it was a man and a woman as well and the man was in power, like I would feel worse than I do about this. Like, so I do agree with what you're saying. I think it's trying to come off as not as predatory as it does come off. And I think that's where my interpretation is a little bit different. Is I think what they're trying to show is different than how it's being perceived.
Oh no, I agree. It's definitely it's written as part of the romance. Just always have HR present.
Yes,
like, know your on, know your rights. Bring Noi into that room and be like, "You're HR. Sit here for this." So I'm saying, protect yourself. Don't be in the situation. Okay. Also, speaking of situations, so the next day, Sam's like, I need to keep an eye on you at my house. So let's go to my house and keep working. Because we need to post content by 9 a.m. tomorrow. She makes up this deadline out of nowhere. And then, again, where's Noi? But it doesn't matter. So to get Mon's like, well, okay, look, I agree we have to keep working because I need to keep this fucking job. And now you've given me another weird deadline. And if that's what you want, I guess. But I have to clear it with my parents. And so I think Mon was kind of like, they will never fucking say yes to this. Because unmarried woman at a stranger's house. But Mon very much underestimates the worshipping of the royal family that goes on with her family.
This is like if
oh my God,
Taylor Swift called Theora and asked if her wife could spend the night with her.
Whatever you want. You don't even have to tell me details. That's literally what happens here. Okay, this scene is fucking hilarious though, because they're in the car already, and then Sam's like, put it on speakerphone. Because I think she knows exactly how this is going to go down. She's like, I'm fucking Sam, about to be in charge of this place. Let me talk to your parents. She gets the dad, which was the first mistake. Instead of like, because I think Mama was gonna out Mon's entire thing. She'd be like, Sam, it's so nice to talk to you again. And Sam would be like, again? And then Mom would have been dead. But then she gets the dad, and the dad gives Sam a blank check. He's like, whatever you want, Sam. You don't have to give me details. Doesn't matter. If you're kidnapping my daughter, that's sure. That sounds great. And whatever you want, Lady Sam. Like, sure, whatever. And Mom's like, what the fuck? You don't even know what she's asking. And he's like, it doesn't matter, Mon. She's the future queen or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just whatever you want. Whatever you want, Lady Sam. Because once again, Sam knew this was going to go down. She's like, I'm a powerful woman. I'm going to get what I want. And she like, this is another example of her like wielding her power to get what she wants. And poor Mom was like, God damn it. I thought my parents loved me. But I love the dad. He's like, whatever you want, lady. Whatever. You don't need to give me details. It's fine.
But then they get to Sam's house.
They do.
Do
Do they work, Kaitlynn?
All right. So, I keep getting distracted by my first thing that I wrote down, which was, what was that? But we have some backing up to do before we get to that point. So they get there. And Sam's like, oh, I take a bath every time when I come home. Okay. Fine. All right. You're supposed to be working though. So why don't you do your work first? But anyway. And then Mon's like, oh, I'll sit here at the kitchen table. Oh no, that's not comfortable for you. So it eventually ends with Sam making Mon go sit on her bed and work. Or something like that. But in her bedroom. So now they're in Sam's bedroom. She's in her boss's bedroom to work. Yeah. This is where Cole's fantasies coming into play.
Yeah, this is where the porn starts. And I'm like, what the hell is happening in this scene?
Yes. Okay. So then Sam goes to take a bath, and Mom's left alone in the room. First of all, she could have taken that opportunity. No, she did snoop a little.
Of course she did. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm in Sam's room.
Yeah. And so Sam is just in the bed, and she's like, "You're too quiet. Let me hear you." And so I don't know. I forget what fully happens, but I know Mon either starts saying something or Sam tells her to sing something.
Yeah, I think she tells her to sing, and then so
Yeah.
she starts singing something Sam doesn't like.
Singing a scary song.
Yeah,
And Sam starts freaking out, obviously. He's like, "Sing a different one." And
and what's the threat this time?
And then so she stops singing and is just like thinking or something. Totally forget that part. And then she's like, "Sing or get in the bath with me."
Yeah,
They have no established relationship at this point. That makes no sense.
She's a walking HR nightmare, is what I'm saying. This is such a mess.
I just don't understand.
I think about it. Mon's trapped there because she can't drive. She's trapped in the scenario of like, what the fuck do I do?
I think Sam is trying to flirt. Like, really badly, and it's not coming off right, but she does not know what to do in this situation, like, at all. She's kind of at a loss, and she's trying to
Michael. I think HR needs to get rid of the rule where employees can't fraternize, and they need to have a flirting 101 class.
Yes. Yes. Oh, absolutely. Sam is terrible at it. Top IT.
Yes.
Yeah. No, Sam's really bad at it. I think it's just one of those things where Sam's like, I just want you around me all the time, and I don't know how to say that. Which is why she's like, I'm going to go in the bath. You talk to me through the door. And then she's like, if you want to talk to me, you're coming in here, kind of thing. And Mon's like, God damn it. So then she serenades her with a love song. Because like Mon's like, I don't know what to do. Let me serenade you and sing something romantic. And Sam's like melting in the bathtub. The scenario's fucked up and weird, but like there's cute parts. Again, Sam's a man. This would be really weird. It's weirder, but like it's cute.
They're on the same page. The page is like all over the place, but it's
in different languages though.
Yeah.
And they're like, I can't translate this. Yeah. But yes, they're a hot mess. Yes. They're useless lesbians. It's what they are, and it's my favorite. And it makes them endearing, but the situation is really weird.
The situation is weird. Yes.
And then it keeps getting weirder.
Yeah,
there are candles. Sam lit those for herself.
Cool. Yeah. The power.
Sam loves her candles. Anyway, so then this ends, and then she's like, I don't want to work anymore. And Mon's like, what the fuck? You brought me, which is a theme Mon doesn't catch up on. She's like, what do you mean you invited me over here when you were not working? There's the deadline tomorrow. Sam's like, well, I'm the boss. I'll just move the fucking deadline that I made up to begin with. Like, Mon can't see through the bullshit yet. And Mon's like, I guess. So then she's like, let's go to sleep. Put on my nightgown. Because obviously Mon doesn't have clothes. She didn't move in yet. So she's like, okay,
she didn't move in yet.
In U-Haul. So she's like, we're getting there. Sam's renting it on the computer while she's changing. And so Mon comes out of the bathroom in Sam's nightgown. And it's not super revealing, but I mean, it's revealing for like anything going from like work attire to like sleep attire kind of thing, where it's like a strappy, I don't know, straps, I guess. And strappy straps, like thin straps kind of thing, like nightgown, night dress kind of thing. And when Mon first comes out of the bathroom, she like crosses her arms. So like she's a little bit uncomfortable with the scenario. I don't think she's really uncomfortable like with Sam per se. And I don't think I'm not reading this negatively. I think it's more so like Mon also doesn't know what to do in the scenario, obviously. And now she's like clothing is a form of like emotional armor, a protective barrier. She's more exposed physically and like emotionally. And I think that Mon also just doesn't know what to do in the scenario. And she's like, I don't have the power here because this isn't my house and like you're my boss and I can't say no to you really. Or she doesn't know that she can't say no, but like I think Mon's a little bit uncomfortable with this scenario too, because she's like, this is new and uncharted territory in a way.
I think I agree. Yes, I think she is. I think it's like a shy, I'm perceiving it as reading the comments of the YouTube channel. I'm perceiving it as a shy, uncomfortable versus I'm uncomfortable that this is my boss and I can't say no kind of uncomfortable. Like you were saying, like, I think they're on the same page of like, they both want something, but they can't quite communicate what it is that they're trying to do.
I don't think they know. They don't know what they're doing is part of it. It's like one of those things. It's like, I have these feelings and I don't know what they mean. And I don't understand what this is, but I need to be around you. That's all I know. Yes. And I agree that is what's happening. And I think Mon is also a shy person. Again, the power thing is always there. I need to point that out. Like, you can't separate the two, because the reason they're there is because Sam, her boss, is like, we need to work at my house. So you really can't separate the two in the scene. I think that eventually like goes away, and that's not really part of their relationship. Like later, Sam's like, I just come to work to see you. And like, it literally goes away. But like at this point, like, work is such a big part of Sam's identity. You really can't separate the two quite yet. So like, it's a weird situation for a lot of reasons is all I'm saying. And like, it's uncharted territory because, like you said, they want something more than this boss employee relationship, but nobody knows what that is or how to communicate it. Right. So it adds a little bit of like weirdness to the scenario, because it's like, it's uncomfortable. And, you know, navigating this without that is also uncomfortable. Like, you know, it's part of growing, like, you know, and evolving. So
it's that, and it's part of like kind of figuring out you're queer. Like, this is taking friends to like romantic, like turning it into romantic. Like, they're at that weird form where they're like, do we even talk about this? I have weird feelings, but I don't know if you have these feelings. Like, it's this weird, like, they're both in the same spot. Like, they both are like, not power wise, but like feelings wise, like they're both kind of in the same, like at the same level of like interested in each other. But exactly what you're saying, they don't know how to handle that, or like what that means, or where to go from here, or literally anything. And that's, again, I guess why you would call it useless lesbians. Like, but they're like baby gays. Like, they're just baby gays. They're trying. It's hard.
Yeah. And think about it, like, and also, I don't know the sexuality of the two of them. It's not really discussed, but like, I'm just going to use that term because I think it's funny, and it's a trope. It's really more so the trope thing than a label for either of these people. But I want to add to that and say that just in general, like, this is the first romantic relationship or set of feelings I think either of them have ever had. And so to add the queer element to it on top of that, it's like a double whammy of like, I have no idea how to navigate this, like, at all. Like, I don't think either of them really understand what's going on at all. Because like, I think the queerness also makes it more confusing, because like, they say later that like, both of them are like, I never liked women before you. So like, I don't think they really know what is going on. And they're like, I just have these feelings and I'm confused and I just want to be near you. That's literally it. And just, this is them just navigating it for like 12 episodes, basically. And that's basically what it is. And it's fascinating.
And I think Lady Sam is using her power in order to keep Mon close. And I think she's using it inappropriately, but she doesn't know what else to do. She's like, I want you here, and I want you to want to be here, but I don't know how to I don't know if you want to be here, and I don't know how to get you to want to be here. So I'm going to tell you, you have no choice, because at least I'll have you, which is also problematic.
It is problematic, but it's part of the Mon learns to like read between the lines with her later when she's like, okay, I understand what you're actually saying, because Sam cannot communicate to save her life, which is a huge problem. And that's what causes these weird situations really in the beginning, because Sam cannot and doesn't know how really to communicate.
She never learned.
No, all she knows how to do is wield power, because that's what grandmother taught her to do. So that's who we're dealing with in the beginning. And it's, is it toxic on the surface? Absolutely it is.
Yes.
And I want to point it out. It is.
Yes.
But understanding Sam and like who Sam is at this point, like, you're right. Like, this is how she knows how to behave. This is all she knows. And it takes Mon some time to like be like, I understand what this is. And she starts to like Sam as a language where she's like, I understand what you're saying now. You know, but we're not there yet.
Right. We're not there. We're nowhere near that.
We're nowhere near. The baby gays got to figure their shit out. And one of the ways they figured that out is the pool scene that happens later. So like basically Insomnia, and they end up at the pool essentially. And I think that like, I think this is part of Sam. Poor Sam. I think Sam actually has some health problems. I think Insomnia is actually one of them. Because if you think about it, the prior episodes, remember with the texting where she's like, why the fuck are you texting me? It was like 2 a.m. And so I think Sam is like regularly up at like these weird hours. So I think she actually just has a degree of insomnia. And then with their sleepovers, like Sam will randomly be awake in the middle of the night. So like, I think the poor woman like literally can't sleep through the night. But here at Mon's first sleepover, again, she has insomnia. Panic. I think it's part of it's gay panic. And she like goes out by the pool and she half-heartedly like checks to say, because I think she wants to talk to Mon. And then she like half-heartedly like leans over like, Mon, are you awake? But like doesn't say anything. She like is like, I'm gonna check to see if she's awake by not saying anything and just hovering over her because she's useless. And then she's like, I guess she's asleep, and so she goes away. Which that scene is just funny on its own because I think part of Sam is like, I want to wake you up, but like I care about you on some level and don't want to wake you up. It's like one of those conflicts.
Well, it's also like I don't know if I should wake you up. Like, are we at that? Like, is that a part of where we're at right now? Like, can I wake you up? Like, is that rude? Like, I think it's this weird, like, continuing with like the turmoil of like, she doesn't know what's happening or how she's feeling or like anything.
Yeah. So what does Sam do? I'm not going to answer these questions. So she goes up to the pool. She's like,
I'm not going to think about it one more second.
No, I'm going to go stare at the pool. Because I would stare at that pool too. Yeah. That pool is gorgeous. I don't blame her. So she does that. And then Mon eventually wakes up and she's like, where the fuck is Sam? I hope being the empathetic person that she is, she's like, I don't care what the scenario is. I need to make sure she's okay because she's obviously a mess. So she goes to find her and they meet up at the pool basically. And the conversation they have, I think, is a really important one to talk about because they talk about families, which is, judging from our conversation, it's the root of a lot of the issues going on here. But I think what was revealing here is that Mon talks about her family. And the fact that her mom and her stepdad, whom we've met, are very loving and supportive of her. And Sam admits here that she envies that. Because if you think about it, like, that love and support is something like her money and power can never, like, she can't yield her power or money to get that ever from somebody. It's always going to be artificial. And so I think that's important to note because Mon does walk through the world like somebody who was raised in a loving household. And I think partially that's what Sam is actually attracted to because it's like that's another element of something that Sam doesn't have, but she desperately, desperately wants. And she says to Mon in this conversation, like, you're lucky to have them looking after you, unlike me. And to me, that's super sad because obviously, but no one in Sam's family is really looking out for Sam, like wholly and completely the way Mon's family looks out for her. Like, it's not unconditional. It comes with all the strings. Like, Kirk wants the status. He wants the respect of the grandmother. Yeah, he cares about her, but there's strings. Same way with the grandmother. She wants Sam to obey her and like live the life that she's pictured for her. Basically, her sisters fucked off to do their own thing, like leaving Sam in the process. They're like, I care about me more and I'm going to leave. Both of them did. And so Sam just really has her found family, like the friends that we've talked about, which are super important. But I don't think Sam really recognizes like that friendship for what it is. Because in this moment, she's basically telling Mon, well, nobody really cares about me the way your family cares about you. And I think that Sam's friends really do care about her as a found family, but I don't think Sam sees that as clearly.
So something to add to that, like so I don't have like the greatest relationship with my family. So like I can see how what you're looking for someone to like your family to care about you because you love your family, like depending on the situation. But in this situation, like she loves her family. She wants her family to be this loving and supporting like relationship, because yes, a found family is great, and if that's what you choose as your full family and or only family, like that is fantastic, and do that. But some people want to have their blood family to be that, and some people don't have it. So I think she's looking for, so as much as she has her friends, she thinks of them as her friends, not necessarily her family, and
Right.
she wants that family. So I can understand kind of her, like, while yes, she has the friends, she doesn't have the family part that Mon has. And
Yeah. And like, think about it. The grandmother raised her.
Mhm.
And I think it deeply hurts her a lot that her grandmother doesn't unconditionally love her.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing that really like weighs on her a lot.
Absolutely.
Sam does have a support system of people
Yes.
who unconditionally love her. I just want to point out that like her brain does not think about them like that, which I find interesting. But you're right; it's more of a familial thing for Sam. She definitely doesn't think about Kirk like that. Like she's excluding all the people we've met so far, so it's just very sad. Like poor Sam doesn't feel like unconditionally loved by anybody. Really.
Do we know what happened to her mom and dad?
So it's never explained, but I get the impression they're dead. Because Sam, at one later point, when she's talking to Mon's parents or Mon's mother, says, like, you remind me of my mother. So, like, Sam remembers her. It's not like infants, like the death of the family. She remembers, like, her mom, at least. So I would imagine something happened when she was young that ended up them being in the custody of the grandmother.
So if Mon's mom reminds her of her mom when she was young, I wonder if that's why she's like, you're so lucky to have them looking out for you, because now she doesn't.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, and at this stage during this conversation, she doesn't know who Mon's mother is. She hasn't talked to her or seen her. This is a later scene. Like, she's in the room with them, and she's like, "You're very kind. You remind me of my mother, who's also kind."
Okay,
so this is basically like, oh, you have kind parents? I wish I had that. That's basically this conversation.
Yeah, well, currently, like maybe she remembered having them when she was younger.
Correct. Yeah, which makes the stuff with the grandmother probably hurt more, because like to have had the thing and lost it is worse than to have never had it at all.
Right.
Yeah. So how do we solve this? We push each other in the pool and have a tickle fight, obviously, because that solves everything.
That's just typical gal pal behavior, Theora.
You know, it's what you do when you sleep over at your boss's house, I guess. So what's cute about this scene is that this is the first time Mon sees Sam smile. Like, we've seen Sam smile, but like Mon hasn't seen it yet. And she comments and she's like, aw, she's like, finally, I made you happy, kind of thing. And of course, this leads to face touching, gay staring. And then Mon falls into Sam again, because Mon doesn't do yoga, obviously, has no balance. But the payoff for Mon is fantastic, because after 10 whole seconds of gay staring and listening to heartbeat noises, Sam says, she admits that her heart races around Mon, and she's like, I don't know why, but like for some reason, my heart's a thundering around you. And nobody knows what to do with that. But I will say that overall, this was the worst work session I've ever seen, but like these disaster gays had a lot of fun. That's what matters.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they definitely seemed to have a lot of fun, and there was no way that inviting Mon over was ever going to end in anything being productive happening.
Absolutely
like,
not.
Nothing. It's like, oh boy. It's like saying, oh, like to somebody you're interested in, like trying to flirt or whatever. Like, oh, do you want to like when you're in college or something? Oh, you want to come over and study? And then no studying happens ever.
No,
like,
it was never gonna work.
It was never gonna happen. No, go do that alone on your own time. Go study.
You know what? And I think Sam knew that, but Mon, being the innocent person that she is, she's like, okay. God damn it.
You know what I love, though?
What?
The beginning of episode 4.
All right. What happens?
So, basically, Mon wakes up in the morning and Sam's downstairs. And Sam's getting ready to go see her friends for breakfast. And then this whole, will they, won't they thing happens again. And Sam roundaboutly asks Mon to go to breakfast, but not really, because she makes Mon invite herself. And she's like, oh, you just want to, like, a free food or
Mooch
something.
off me.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, what?
So that's bullshit. And then... And so then Mon gets to meet Sam's friends for the first time, and she immediately gets adopted.
I love it. Immediately. I love the friends, because, like, everybody's super on brand in this scene. Like, Kate is, like, leading into the fact that she's an actress. She's like, oh my god, I'm so famous, don't take photos of me. And the friends are like, shut the fuck up. T hits on Mon immediately. She's like, you're cute. What's your deal? And Jim insists that everybody uses her code name Martha that nobody uses the entire show. And that's one of my favorite things, is that nobody abides by that. Like, not one person. It's fucking hilarious. And the friends in front of Mon start using all those weird names for Sam, and they call her here the Honorable Horn Fuzzy, which I was so confused about this the first time because I missed the translation of it. Apparently it's supposed to be dirty, but I still honestly don't get it. Basically the explanation is like, she's an honorable lady, so we just joke around and call her Horn 3D personality fuzzy lady, and I think it's read as 3 is read as Sam. So it's kind of like a play on like the spelling and like in their language and like how you'd fit Sam in there.
I tried so many times to look
Just
up
go with it.
Like look up the actual translation between, because like maybe it's just translated funny. No idea. It didn't help me.
I was like, does it mean like, I don't know. I was like, if it's dirty, is it like a sexual name where they're like Horn Fuzzy? Like, I'm like, what? They keep calling her it the whole time, and Sam doesn't bat an eye. But
I mean, it's probably
anyway.
not new. Like, it's
no, absolutely not. This was probably like something when they were like teenagers coming into their sexuality, like nicknames.
Inside joke.
I mean, yeah, obviously it's an inside joke. Nobody else, they never do this outside of their friend group. But I assume like when they were teenagers, they were like learning dirty stuff and like came up with this. And like it just, Sam was like, I hate that. And they're like, great, that's your name forever.
Perfect.
Like, it's pretty much what happened. Because if you remember in one of the flashbacks, this group was like teaching Mon dirty limericks. So I'm pretty sure that's when they came up with the nickname for Sam. They're like, God, you're such a prude, Sam. We're going to call you like whatever this means. And it stuck for like 10 years. All right. Regardless, the friends know Sam better than she knows herself, and so we get a good insight into Sam and her contrarian behavior and how to translate Sam, essentially, through watching her friends interact with them. And immediately they're just like, what the fuck? Sam brought a human to our lunch, like a living one.
A
cute one.
I'm sorry. You're implying that she'd bring a dead human.
Sam doesn't even bring Kirk to these things. Like, they're like, we've never met him. So here she is bringing some rando. Like, she didn't tell them she was bringing him on. She just brought Mon because they're on like a 72-hour lesbian date. They didn't talk about it. That's what this weekend ends up being. They're on the 72-hour date. But like, they had no
common lesbian thing.
It's a trope.
It's a trope, yeah.
It's a trope. So, yeah, we're like the first date lasts 72 hours because you just want to hang out the whole time. That's what they're doing. And the next step is U-hauling. They'll get there. But first they have to get through this lunch where Sam is bringing Mon to her friends, who she brings no one. So naturally, the friends are like, this is interesting. Sam's being weird. So we have to interrogate this girl. So they have to contrive this scenario to interrogate Mon. That's fucking hilarious. So, oh my god. Okay, well, it's so funny. But wait, before we get there, wait, actually, this is the one where like they're like, you need to help Jim go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And like Jim is like in the second trimester at most. So like
I don't think she's even there yet.
yeah, like
Who knows how much time has happened?
Who knows? But like she doesn't have the bump quite yet, which is what I mean. So like she's fully capable of peeing on her own. Like her bladder is not being affected. But she's like, no, I'm pregnant. You have to come with me to the bathroom. And Sam resists for like a hot minute until she's finally like, fine, whatever. I'll be a good friend, take you to the bathroom. So then she goes, and then Jim's like, you need to check the bathroom and make sure nobody's in there. And Sam's like, okay. She goes in, and then Jim locks her in the stall, which is hilarious. She basically like takes a belt or something, locks it around the door handle, and like ties it to this dog statue, and then is like, she said Natasha Romanoff, and like, which is a Marvel character, like leaves, which is so random.
What's an assassin?
Isn't
it?
Isn't she? Yeah,
Yeah.
The Black Widow. Is she trying to kill Sam? That's why it was random. I'm like
espionage or something.
Yeah, that's what I took. It was like James Bond. Like she's trying to be like espionage-y, but like the Black Widow kills people. Anyway.
So wait, Sam's the Black Widow. So she put the Black Widow into like she's Natasha Romanoff.
That's better. She's Natasha Romanoff. I'm here for that. Sam, the superhero. I love that. So that's when they get Sam out of the way. And then they take Mon and start like grilling her. Basically, they're like, who are you? Why did Sam bring you here? Why is she acting weird? And poor Mon is like trying to answer all these questions. And during the whole thing, basically this whole ordeal, the truth comes out about like the fact that Mon doesn't know anything about Sam. So Cade and the friends are like, yeah, the social media stuff, we do that. That's not Sam. Sam hates social media. Sam kind of has a Facebook but never uses it. That's us. The Instagram is on me. Don't believe any of that shit. So poor Mon has like her whole world like kind of like flip upside down. She's like, oh shit. She thought she was like, she took a lot of pride in the fact that she's like, oh, I know everything about Sam because I've read every interview. I know I keep very up to date with everything about her. But now to learn that like that was all a lie, like that's a lot for, if you think about that, that's a lot for like the Mon to like digest. She's like, wow, I just spent the night with a stranger. Like I thought I knew you. I don't know anything about you.
I have mixed feelings about this scene because, like, on one hand, yeah, she's finding out that her world's a lie and the person who she looked up to and thought she knew, it wasn't true. But I still think it's creepy that she is following every little thing that Sam does and, like, trying to, like, literally follow in the footsteps. Like, you aren't going to know who a person is based on what they put online. A normal person would have just pretended. I know this from experience. Normal person would have pretended to not know so much and ask questions to get to know them.
Kaylynn's telling on herself.
I do research.
So does Mon. But yeah. But like, you're right. That is the lesson to be learned literally from this. But Mon is feeling all the feelings of having her world flip side down. And for some reason, this is when the truth comes out. Not earlier when Mon had the opportunity to be like, yeah, we know each other. It's here. And where she confesses that, like, basically, I knew Sam. I saw her smile at me once and that changed my entire life. But we also get this other flashback, which is interesting. There's no dog. But it has Sam's friend group when they were little delinquent teenagers, which is very cute. They were little assholes. And which, again, shows that, like, the friend group has existed pre-Sam essentially becoming the heir and all of that stuff. And, oh my god, the way they, like, fuck with Mon, and they're like, oh, you... Because, again, they're using the racism here. They're like, you don't know how to speak Thai. How can we fuck with you? And they're basically like, we'll write your poem for you. And they write, like, this dirty poem for Mon, who's, like, just trying to translate the words. And so they were setting her up to get in trouble. Because... they never grew out of their teasing phase, these guys.
No, they were so mean to her.
They were.
And it makes, but I feel like it makes sense because they still kind of have that bite to them, but they're very loyal to their friends.
Very much so. And I wonder too, like, does Mon remember them? Do they remember Mon?
Well, they're in the flashback, so she has to remember them because she was telling the story.
I guess. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway. Sam ends up saving her from this, and she's like, get the fuck out of here, and like helps her with the poem. So not only is it they didn't just bond over the dog, like Sam actually came to her rescue in this moment and like actually genuinely sat down and helped her out. So
do you think this happened? Because I have
Or
a
is this a fantasy?
yeah, or like something that she made up to be like, because the other one is too intimate of a memory for her, so that this situation makes more sense.
I think so. I think this is something she was willing to share with him rather than like, let me explain in vivid detail what Sam's smile was like.
Yeah.
And then I think if she did that, the friends would be like, I understand what's happening here. Okay.
But that's
you wanna
too
fuck
much.
Sam. I get it. And then Jim would be like, I get it. I do too. So that would have we would have like skipped like 8 episodes.
4 seasons? Yeah, 4 seasons.
Right,
4
if that was
episodes,
the story. So instead she's like, I remember you guys, you were dicks. And then Sam saved me and helped me with my homework when she didn't have to.
Do you like young T's haircut?
Yes.
That matches identical to the current
I
haircut?
love whenever they do that because they're like, you won't know it's them if the hair's different. So they had to keep the same haircut for 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
10 years, I know.
But also,
is it 10 or 13 or something?
No, I mean, like,
13,
I'm estimating.
Yeah.
But what I do love about this is like, I imagine again, they're in a school where they have to wear the uniform, so they have to wear the skirts, they have to wear the blouse or whatever. I imagine T is so fucking uncomfortable in this fucking uniform because I would be too.
Mhm.
I wanted to wear pants so bad. They made me wear a skirt, which I mean, at least isn't a skirt. So, because let's be real, I don't sit like a lady. But yeah, it is nice though because you don't have to worry about picking out clothes.
That is nice, but like at least give them the option to wear pants because it gets cold and then you're stuck wearing a skirt. It just sucks. No. So yeah, I imagine T is very uncomfortable in this.
Let everybody wear pants.
Agreed. Okay, so then after Sam learns that Mon has known her for like 13 years or whatever, she rightfully freaks the fuck out because it is weird. And so she starts acting weird, like more weird, like for Sam, which is pretty fucking weird. So then the friends are like, okay, Mon, we need to explain to you why Horn Fuzzy is so fucking weird. And they're like, basically like, she grew up in a repressed household. She's forced to hide her feelings. At this point, when they're having this conversation, Sam, for some reason, in the Japanese restaurant, is behind the sushi bar, making the sushi. I don't understand this. Or, I mean, I guess it's like, Sam can cook, which is attractive, I guess. But like, she's like terrorizing the poor sushi chef who's trying to do his job, and like the royal woman is there like doing his job.
Well,
so
basically she's not doing it well either. So no. I don't think she can do it. She just likes to stay busy.
Yeah, she's doing her best and she's terrorizing the employee at the same time. She's definitely scared. So the friends are like, look, see, she's weird. Here's, repressed much. She absolutely is.
I feel like one of them made a joke like, why don't you go behind there? And then like they egged her on, and then she was like,
that's fine. Jim. When she was trying to get her out of there, she's like, what are you doing? Let that man do his job. Yeah. So they call her out eventually, but they tell her.
No, I thought like I think they're the reason that she started doing it anyway. I think they were like playing around, and then she's like, you know what? Screw all of you. I'm gonna do it. And then she goes, and then they're like, all right, come on, it's enough.
Yeah, it's possible. But the key takeaway here is that Mon learns that what Sam says and does doesn't match her feelings. That's the main thing. And they're like, it's because of how she grew up.
I feel
they're like,
yeah, go ahead.
In order to like understand Sam, you have to interpret what she says and does is the opposite of what she wants. So like when they're ordering food, like Mon saw like they'd be like, Sam, do you want this? And she's like, yes. And then they'd be like, don't order that. Do you want this? And then she's like, no. And they're like, order that. And Mom was like, why are you doing this? And then they explain. They're like, she says she wants something. I mean, she doesn't want it. So,
I didn't get that. I thought they were trying to order her something that she didn't want.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought too. And this was before the explanation. And you're thinking what Mom's thinking. She's like, why are her friends being weird? And they're like, no, Sam is weird. And we just understand how to interpret Sam. So when she says, yes, I want that, it means she absolutely does not want that thing. So with that knowledge, they're like, what do you think of Mon? And then she's like, I don't like her. And then they're like,
Mon's like,
they're like, she likes you, although she wouldn't fucking be here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. See, like in our culture, I guess, we would consider what she wanted weird food then. Like not weird, but like unique. And so because she said yes to the first two that were like things that we would eat, and I believe the thing that she said no to was something that was just very unique.
Oh, she wanted sea urchins. That's not weird.
Or I don't remember. I thought it was something else.
It was sea urchins, which I hate those things. So good on you, Sam, if you like them. My grandfather used to try to get me to eat those things. I hate
I
them.
never
tried.
heard of someone eating. I don't even know what that is.
Is it uni or something?
I think that's the Japanese word, but it's a sea urchin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But you can get that at sushi.
I'm not
restaurants.
cultured though, so like,
It's okay. You wouldn't like it. Trust me.
I mean,
but
I've
yeah,
tried a
that's
lot of. Never mind. That's another story for another day.
so that was what was going on in that scene, and then we also get like again, the friend group is not a straight friend group, and it's very apparent in the scene because everyone wants to fuck Sam, including T. T says basically like, if she wasn't my friend, I would try to bang her. It's basically what she says, and then Jim is like, I wish, but I have a baby, and like poor Mon is like, what is this friend group? Everybody's into Sam, which I think is hilarious, and I love that Jim is offended that like Sam never hit on her, which I love it. And this is what I realized. I'm like, okay, this friend group is just a bunch of queers that found each other.
Jim is definitely not subtle about it, and I'm just really surprised that the way that Jim acts doesn't make Sam uncomfortable, and not because like that's what she's doing, but because she's a female. But
yeah,
I'm thinking maybe Sam just doesn't feel like she needs to hide in front of them, like they're the only people that she can be herself. But also, I feel like it's a situation where she never brings it up, but the friends just know.
Yeah. It's very cute. I love it that that's their dynamic, like, and they're not shy about it, which is really fucking funny, I think. Okay. So after that, we get the confession that Sam likes Mon, and Mon is like seriously dying on the inside because like her fucking crush of 13 years is like just admitted she likes her, which is
and just met her like 3 days ago.
Correct. Which is huge. And speaking of dying, Mon finally tells Sam about the dog.
Oh my god.
It's so sad because she shows her a picture of Sua, her dog, that she left at the school. And Sam's like, aw, is he alive? And Mon's like, no. So abruptly like, yay, aw.
This takes 4 episodes though.
I know. Mon has no game, is my point here. I'm like, you could have like used this dog thing to your advantage, and like you fumbled this super hard. But then Mon, for some reason, says to Sam, I forget how the conversation transitions, but it essentially ends with Mon saying, if I would make a move if I were a man. And I don't understand why this is placed here, because my read on Mon at this point is that she doesn't understand her feelings for Sam at this point. So I find it odd that she's like basically like, I would try and date you if I could. It just unless I'm reading this wrong, I was very confused by this line.
So my thought, I think Mon's facial expressions don't match what she's trying to portray, because it happens multiple times in this show. So somehow like how Lady Sam, when she says certain things, she means the opposite. Sometimes it seems like Mon's facial expressions mean the opposite. Like the character choice for the actor is a little bit off. So, or like the expression choice for the actor is off. So she's more into this than her face is letting on.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just confused why she said this though. Because like my read on them at this point is that they don't understand what the feelings mean. So just it seemed out of nowhere that she was kind of like, it's almost saying like, I would super hit on you if I was a man. Like it was odd.
Maybe it was her trying to see what Sam would do if she said that.
That's true.
Like
it seems very bold of Mon to say that. Which, good on you, Mon. I'm not mad at it. It was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, speaking of interesting, and I want to know how Mon does this, because then we go back to the company, and Mon posts the new content on Diversity Pop and gets 50,000 followers immediately. And I'm like, how? What is your secret, Mon? What was in the post? Because help us. I wish. For some reason, though, she doesn't see it as the accomplishment it is, and she's like disappointed she didn't get more. And I guess it's because she has that insane 500,000 deadline from Sam. And so she kind of like is down on herself a little bit, but she runs into Sam while she's kind of feeling this, and Sam reassures her a little bit, which honestly is nice, and it was a little surprising because again, Sam is in the process of evolving, and I don't think Sam meant to do this. It just kind of like came out because I think the feelings for Mon are getting too strong and are overriding her essentially like poker face or her neutrality, because after it happens, she tries to like she smiles and she tries to like school her features back into like being neutral, which they usually are. And so it's, to me, this was like one of the first times like the mask was cracking in public. And Sam was very conscious that it was happening and like trying to fight it and struggling with it, which is really interesting. And so that's an important kind of like checkpoint in the like progression of this.
I keep trying to figure out this 500,000 followers thing, because it's so much. It's huge expectations. And to get 50,000 new followers on like one post, because you only hear about this one post, so I'm assuming that it's just from one thing. And unless Diversity has millions of followers and they're like cross-promoting content, there's no way that that's happening. Unless you get an exclusive with Taylor Swift at this point.
You'd have more than 50,000.
Well, yeah, but
I think that Mon's idea behind the Diversity Pop was to partner with like influencers. So I guess that maybe is your cross promotion. I'm confused if this is followers or likes, because at some point later they're like, it needs likes. And I'm like, is this a translation thing? I was confused. I couldn't fully suss this out. And then I don't know if it's the one post, because like later they're actually working on like other like articles and stuff, and they talk about like bullying and like things like that. So I'm super confused by this whole thing.
I need more explanation about the company.
Right, the company is where I'm unsatisfied.
I'm like wondering if I didn't know so much about this world, if I would care this much.
Right.
Like, if it was healthcare, would I care?
Either way, likes, followers, I just want to know what she did, because help a queer out is what I'm saying.
I mean, she is royalty.
Yes.
So there's a chance that like news articles could have been made about the thing that was written. Like it could be that maybe she's just on everybody's radar with this company because it's like the Royals company kind of thing, or like one of the Royals companies.
Yeah, that is fair. It's like if Princess Charlotte was trying to make hats.
I will never know.
It would be everywhere.
What it's like to have everybody want to know what the hell I'm doing.
And I don't want to.
It doesn't sound fun.
No, that's Sam's whole thing. She's like, I don't want people aren't entitled to know things about me. It's basically what she says. Why she doesn't really have a social media, which I get.
So this is the public's way of
getting to know her. Like if she posted something like this, you don't think Mon would have eaten this shit up? Like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Mon could probably tell you in great detail all of the content from Diversity since it started.
Or I'm sure she knows. I'm sure her interview was very interesting. And they're like, wow, you know a lot about this. Okay. All right. Then we get Mon and Yuki hanging out. Which happens quite a bit when Yuki's having man troubles. So at the start of this show, she's dating someone named Shogun. And basically anytime they fight, she goes to Mon and she's like, I'm sad, hang out with me. And then she ends up in this scene texting him. He calls her and she's like, oh my God. And then she like ditches Mon immediately. So, sorry, that was an earlier scene. In this scene, they break up for real. And Yuki's like, I'm really done with him. Fuck that guy. For real. I'm really sad. So she comes to see Mon and the dog. And Mon is texting the friend group because the friends were like, we like you. Let's make a group without Sam in it so we can get all the gossip. Because this situation is weird and she likes you. This is weird. So they're texting Mon. And Mon is basically like, oh, I can't really talk because my friend's here who's really sad. She just had her heart broken. And T immediately is like, I can console her if you send her my way, because it's tea, right?
Well, tea.
It's tea. I will be pointing all the tea and Yuki stuff because it's there from the beginning. Like, it's there the whole time, guys. So, foreshadowing. Okay. Then, Mon's like, okay, I'm going to pay attention to you. And then Sam starts texting her. And she's like, obviously, I can't pay attention to you because my crush is texting me now. So, she goes into the kitchen to, like, make tea or milk or something for Yuki. And
Let's
then,
pretend it's tea.
Yeah, and then, and then they do a texting kind of montage to me that feels very red, white, and royal blue, because if you've ever seen that movie, basically the boys are flirt texting. One's in England, one's in America, and the way they do it is they have them in the same room kind of texting each other to imply that they're like kind of talking, but they're both on screen, which is really cute. And for some reason, this is the only time they ever do this in the show. They do it here for like a literal hot second. Where like Sam's in the kitchen texting Mon, and Mon is like texting her back. I think it's a way to show that they're growing closer, but they only ever do it here, which is interesting. And
It's
what's
very cute, though.
No, go.
It's very cute. That's it.
It's so cute. I wish
Yeah.
they did it more. Like it
Mhm.
worked in that movie too. It's adorable the way they do this. What's interesting about this one is when it ends, like they're next to each other on the counter, like metaphorically or whatever. And Mon like jumps and like looks to where Sam is actually standing and like stares there for a while. So I'm like, is there something supernatural also going on? Because that's where I was like, wait. Or is Mon was just like, I really felt like you were right there. Like it's like Mon being like, I feel like Sam is near me, kind of thing.
I feel like that would probably be it.
I think so too. But it'd be really funny if this jump started into like a supernatural show based on like that was the jumping point, and I'm like, what am I watching? I would take that.
My complaint is that there's no gay leaves, though.
No, they don't have any gay leaves in the show.
There's trees behind them.
There are trees, but there are no scenes with leaves falling in the
No.
show. No, they didn't get the Heartstopper memo. Or the
I
XO
think there
memo.
might be leaves, like petals in the opener.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the Exo Kitty vibes.
Otherwise, it can't be queer.
We can bring back the tree love thing for that.
Mm-hmm. See your merch store. Anyway, then after this, we get the prawns date, which this whole thing is interesting. So basically, Sam's like, it's the weekend. Obviously, I want to see you. Let's go get prawns, because it's like an expensive food in like this part of town where like it's famous. And she's like, I'll take you there to get the best prawns ever, essentially. And Mon's excited because she's like, ooh, fancy food. And Sam, let's do it. But Sam ends up like standing her up, and Mon's all like dressed and she's like waiting. And Sam ends up standing her up because Kirk is like, it's a holiday. Like, I think this means the weekend. Let's go get food. Let's get he basically has the same plan. But he's like, Sam, you can't stand me up because grandmother wants us to go run an errand in that area. You don't want to disappoint grandmother, do you? And Sam's like, ugh. So obviously she caves because she's a big fucking coward. And unfortunately, like, this starts the big cycle of like Sam constantly disappointing Mon like over and over and over again, because Sam will always give her grandmother what she wants at the end of the day. And it's really heartbreaking and sad for Mon. But the other thing that happens is in this vicious cycle, it also starts the whole thing of the friend group, like Sam's friend group, comforting Mon, like stepping in as the adoptive family when Sam fucks up. And so they're like, ugh, fuck the Horn Fuzzy. Come hang out with us. So they go to they rent out like a karaoke room. I'm keeping you entertained, Kaitlynn.
You are. I love you.
They're Mon's there, and like she's being all sad and shit. And then I think Yuki ends up showing up at some point because she's sad, and she's like, can Yuki come? And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, the more the merrier. So this is when T and Yuki meet for the first time. Just putting that out there. But it's all about Mon, because Mon's really sad, and they're like, Sam fucked up. So T's like, okay. Because T is not an idiot. She's like, okay, Sam is acting weird. Sam brings a girl. So she likes the girl. And the girl is upset over Sam. So obviously they're into each other. Like, let's just cut the bullshit. So she's like, okay, I think I know how we can get through to Sam. So they basically have Cade has like T and Mon take a picture with the prawns and like looking romantically close together. And they post that somewhere or send it to Sam. I don't remember how this happens. Which immediately makes Sam jealous, which is another thing that obviously keeps happening. And T knows how to push Sam's buttons like the most out of all the friends. And T does it so well every single time. And so I love that T is the hero who's like, I'll piss off my friend for your benefit. It hurts because she's obviously into you.
Mm-hmm.
Kaitlynn,
What?
it's your
Oh,
turn.
sorry. I did. Our colors look similar sometimes. Okay. I feel like T is the one who knows everyone the best and like always knows exactly what someone needs and will go to great lengths to make sure that you get it. T's just the best. You know
Yeah,
what? They're
no,
all
T's
the
really
best.
great.
I love all of them.
I know. I love all of them.
We know the least about Kate, I feel like, but
She's too busy making movies the whole time the show is going on.
she's the diva of the group. Which
She's the diva.
I think is Jim, but
Oh my God. Jim is so funny. I love Jim. Jim should not be allowed to rear children, though. I'm
I
right
think
here for
Jim-
the children.
I think Jim might be my favorite.
I love Jim.
They're so great. The scene is so sweet though. Like they really were like, because I don't know many friend groups who like they're not even dating. At
I
this
know.
point. Like they just met this person once. They already started a text group with them. Like this is the potential love interest of a friend of theirs, but they're like, no, we're gonna help you out. Like we are here for you and you alone. We know that this is going to be fantastic between the two of you, but unfortunately you need a ton of help because this is Sam. Sam is rough. Like this is a hard, so they just like really took her in and were like, look, come here, come hang out with us. We're just chilling. We're gonna have some food. We're gonna make Sam jealous. Like, let's do this. Like,
Oh my
let's just
God.
help you out.
They
So,
also know
and-
that she's gonna have to deal with grandma at some point, so
Yeah. But it was, it was really, it was really sweet. And then they were scheming. So
Of course.
Yeah.
The whole thing is a scheme. Well, I think like the whole thing starts as a scheme, but they genuinely become like friends with Mon. Is
Yeah.
the thing. Because they're just like, if you think about them, they're like, they've known Sam for decades, probably, like longer than we know. And so they can read her extremely well. And so like they're just like, you're acting really weird in a good way. And we need to help you get your head out of your ass. And so, and then they like can clearly read Mon too. And they're like, she's also acting weird.
Mhm.
Let's let them be weird together. And so I love that they're just like, Sam will never go after what she wants, but it's pretty clear that she does want her. And so I love that they're just like, let's just, they don't ever like push Sam into it. They're like, let's put this out there and see what Sam does. Cause T's like, I have a feeling she's gonna be jealous as fuck and try to kill me.
They're
Which is
meddling.
exactly- Yeah.
They-
But like, they're not like forcing Sam to do anything. They're just like, let's plant the seed and it's up to Sam. I'm pretty sure I know what she's gonna do, but we'll see. And like, sure enough, Sam's like a tornado that's just like, I'm gonna kill you for this. And T's like, I knew it. I knew this was gonna happen.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome. Yes. Which is chef's kiss. It's the best.
Mhm.
Woo.
episode 5.
All right, so that concludes episode 4. So we'll shoot on over to episode 5. So, which basically picks up immediately after 4. So T's ploy to make Sam jealous works a little too well. And Sam shows up at Mon's house with a bag of prawns and manhandles T a little bit because the bitch has no chill. None.
Yeah.
Sam is just 0 to 100. There is no in between with Sam ever.
It's great though. Like there's like a death stare
There it is.
and like a shove, and it's just so good. It's so good. Because it's like it's a little like that she's jealous. She's not a little.
A little.
So
A
jealous.
little.
She's so jealous, and it's
Oh my God.
so nice. And like it's a little, it's rough on T. Like it's a little out of line, but it's kind of hot. So, and that's kind of the through line for me for this series is shouldn't have happened. Kind of hot.
But I'm into it. Listen,
Yeah.
jealousy is fun to watch. Like, Sam is such a stupidly jealous human being. And, like, she even gets her own theme music as she's like, this is my favorite dramatic music insert. When she's walking to the car to tea, it's just that, like, final boss dramatic music just for her walking. So you know some shit's about to go down. So, yeah, the wow. She is so
Very
fucking
nice.
jealous. It's amazing. And eventually she, like, gets rid of T. She's like, go away. Like, I have to talk to Mon, basically. She doesn't say that, but that's super implied by all the body language and the snark and all the stuff. And T's like, okay. Like, just so you know, Mon and I weren't on a date. I mean, I sent you that so you think we were, but we weren't. Like, see, Yuki's here. So Yuki comes out and they're like, see, there's another girl here. Which T can handle 2 women. So if I was Sam, I'd still be, like, pissed off and be like, this is still suspicious. But T's like, it's okay. I'm going to take Yuki home. And so I need to point that out because she's going to comfort Yuki, obviously. And I would love to know how the rest of that car ride went with just the 2 of them and what happened after, because we know how it ends eventually. So stuff went down in that car is all I'm saying.
Like, it feels very planned. Like,
Yeah.
Like, T was like, oh yeah, Yuki, I'll drive you home too, don't worry.
And she's like,
we're gonna do this.
Sad. You're still sad over that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Men are so dumb, aren't they? Like, you don't need them. Like, I imagine T was putting on every single move possible when she was alone in the car with Yuki, and I'm sure they all worked because we see how this ends. Okay. Unfortunately, the plan again works way too well, and Sam is not appeased by any of this. She's just like, listen, I brought you food and your mom. Go take this. And then the next day, she terrorizes the entire office. Noi does nothing because she's the most useless HR person of all time. And she terrorizes everyone until Mon makes a move to, like, Mon has to be the one to make up with her. Because Sam is just, like, in a jealous rage for, like...
She's butthurt.
Wars. Yes. And she's just like, I hate feeling like this. I don't know what to do. And then Mon's like, fine, I'll be the adult. And I think this is an important moment because Mon kind of steps into her power a little bit here because she starts reading Sam. Sam's like, I don't want to talk to you. And Mon's like, yes, you do. Basically, and starts, like, reading her to filth. And Sam's like, what the fuck? How do you know what I actually feel? This is kind of weird. But immediately when Mon starts, like, doing this, like, it becomes a pushover, like, instantly. And then when she's like, okay, we made up, great. Sam's like, let's go on a date right now and get prawns. I'm like, it's the middle of a work day. She's just like, fuck the company that's failing and I'm worried about. Let's go get the prawns I promised you. And just, she's such a lesbian. I can't. I can't with Sam.
I don't understand how no one in the office realizes that something's going on.
I know. They keep leaving in the middle of the day. And they don't come back.
But then also, like, the way Mon talks to Sam in front of people and, like, defies her, basically. If anyone else did that, they'd be fired immediately.
Oh, yeah. And they're definitely surprised by that. Because, like, when she first does it, when she first gets there, remember they give her the gift? They're like, well, it was nice knowing you. And it doesn't happen. So I think they start getting used to that. And then they see that, like, oh, Mon actually is good at this, which Sam admits, and she's getting results, and we have a shot at saving this company. So I think they kind of, like, think that, oh, well, Mon's actually good at this. Maybe that's why. But they're never going to voice that out loud because they don't want to die. You know? But yeah, like, their behavior is super suspicious, you know? But again, HR is useless. So
it's just long hours working on some, like, new articles or whatever, and they have to go. Yeah, they have to, like, do lunch meetings they gotta eat at some point, you know? So they go out, and I mean, who knows?
They never come back. So I'm just like, is nobody concerned that Sam's abducting Mon on a regular basis?
No, they're not concerned at all.
No, but also, like, to be fair, why would they? Because like Sam has Kirk, and Mon's a good girl. You know, Framed as a good girl, and also Sam is like hates everybody. So like, I don't think they would ever in a million years suspect Sam of doing literally anything that she's doing. In fact, when it starts getting suspicious, they're like, oh, is Mon and Kirk together? Like, Sam is never like implicated as like, is Sam being weird? Even though she's being weird. They don't see it that way. I think they're too afraid of her, and like it never crosses their mind that she has feelings. Because remember when they were making fun of her, they're like her face is frozen, like she shows no emotions. I don't think they think she's capable of having them. So
not at all.
Yeah, I think it just never crosses their mind ever, because they're like, Sam have feelings? What? No, that's not our boss. But yeah, they're hella suspicious and not super subtle about the fact that they're like constantly together.
I do, before we move on, I do love that screen grab that you took of that scene with the little smirk on Mon's face. Like, just the perfect thing. And like, Sam is like, what do you mean? What are you saying?
Well, what does she say there to like get Sam to be the pushover?
Oh yeah. She's like, my lady Sam.
She calls her like, my lady Sam.
Yeah.
Where Sam's like, let's go get food right now.
Yeah.
I need to date you so hard. Like, that's basically what pushes her over. Because again, this is Mon coming into her power. She knows what she's doing. She's like, oh yeah, I know you like me. And Sam's like, yep, I need to buy you expensive food right now. Let's get the fuck out of here. Fuck my failing company. Let's go. I need to date you super hard. And she does. To be fair to Sam, she dates her super hard. Even before they're actually dating. Okay, so speaking of that. So they go out on a date, obviously, to get the prawns, which is very, very cute and sweet. And I love how super excited Mon is, because like, she's like, it's not every day I get fancy food. So she's like taking all these photos. It was very sweet and just super cute. And I just love how jealous Sam gets. She's like, well, I wish I was the fucking prawn because you're paying attention to it and not me. And I'm like, oh my God. Sam. She's so fucking funny. Oh my God. She's like a toddler sometimes. And Mon's like, chill, girl. And Mom's not finished. She's like, Sam starts eating and she's like, no, I need to take more photos. Like, she's totally ignoring her. It's so funny.
But it's important though, because you're right about like, she's starting to take her power in this relationship.
Exactly.
So I think that part is really important to their dynamic.
Exactly.
Like, now Mon is like starting to become in charge, and Lady Sam is starting to like take the back seat with the power, and like is unsure now, has to learn how to navigate that as well now.
You hit the freaking nail on the head. And we'll get to my very favorite episode in this show, but it has to do exactly with that. The other thing to remember, like you said, is that Sam has always been in a position of power, and she doesn't know what it's like to relinquish power. And Mon is teaching her that. Like, sometimes it's okay to not be the one in charge. Like, it's okay to let somebody else take charge and take care of you, which is kind of what Mon is doing. And Sam is slowly learning how to like let go of the control, which is very important. And so it even starts here. Like, Sam's like, I just want to eat the food and hang out with you. And Mon's like, chill for a second. I'm doing something. And she's like, fine, I'll wait. Like, she's not somebody who waits ever. And then she's like, fine, I'll do it for you, I guess.
Yeah, it's very cute.
It's very cute. And like you said, this is where they start to get a more equal footing in terms of like give and take. It's less like Sam takes from Mon. It's more like it becomes more equal, basically, which is important. And that's what a good relationship looks like. It takes them a bit. They have to work through trauma, because nobody goes to therapy in the show. So they're having therapy on screen with each other, which is great.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how to transition to this, but the next thing that happens on this date is the you bite my nose, I bite your lips gambit.
There is no transition for that.
I didn't see this coming.
Not even they transitioned into this.
No. Sam is just like, you know what would be fun? But like, there is no transition. It's hilarious. actually, Sam's transition is really weird. They're eating ice cream, and then all of a sudden, Sam's like, what part of my face do you like the most? Like, out of nowhere. And Mon's like, I guess your nose. Like, what a question. First of all, Mon definitely had an answer. So there's that. But what a question. So Sam's like, great. Do you want to bite it sometimes? And Mon's like, obviously. There's no hesitation at all. It's so funny. And then Sam takes that opener to like show her entire hand. Miss Poker Face is like, here's my whole hand. You can bite the facial feature of your choice, my nose, that's your favorite. If I get to like make out with you, basically. It's not that. It's biting your lips. There's no making out quite yet, which we'll get to that in another episode. But anyway, she's like, because to her, she's like, my nose is your favorite part of my face. Well, then she's basically admitting that your lips are my favorite. She can't stop staring at them, first of all. So it's like, Sam, we all know that. But she's admitting it to Mon. And then she's like, but it's like going to be totally like a gal pal thing. It's totally fine. It's what women do, I guess. And then Sam is just like, they're in public. And she's like, fuck propriety. Let's do it right now. And they're in public. And Sam is like leaning in. And Mon's like, what is happening? She has her oh shit moment. She's like, oh God, this is happening. You're serious about this.
Do they not have like paparazzi in Thailand? Because I feel like the heir to the royal family, I guess, or whatever it is, would definitely be followed.
This TV show. They don't.
Yeah, Sam doesn't ever seem to be really followed. Because, I mean, she's probably like third family in line or something. She's not like the direct heir, but yeah, you would think that she'd be followed or people, unlike Kate, who's like, don't take photos of me. No one's taking photos of her. Like, you would think people would follow Sam around. Yeah, that is a good point. It is odd.
I don't know. I think the whole, like, it's not kissing if your lips aren't touching, right?
It's not gay.
You know?
This isn't gay.
It's not gay.
She's like, yeah. Gay. This is what some people do. I don't know the people. I like later when there's a jealousy over like kissing Mon, and Mon's like, would you feel this way if it was any of your other friends? Sam's like, no. I'm like, okay, come on, guys. Do you do this with your other friends? No. But people do it.
People. Don't know who, but you know.
I don't know the people, but there are people out there somewhere in the world. It's a big world, Mon.
Yeah. People. Gay people do it. That's
it's very common in the queer community. Ladies. Anyway, so that failed. Like, Sam tries immediately to be like, yes. And then Mon's like, realizes what's happening. She's like, we are in public. No. And so she like either gets a call from Nop or calls Nop and then is like, I can't talk to you. Pulls an Exo Kitty. I couldn't really tell because it didn't give the subtitle. It didn't do the subtitle where it's like phone vibrating. It's just like she's overseeing like, oh my God, phone. Hi, Nop. And like starts talking to him. But anyway, so that ends that scenario.
I think he calls her.
Yeah, that was my assumption. But either way, Nop twat blocks Sam. And Sam's like, God damn it. Like, leaves. So then she takes Mon home and they're in the car. And so Sam is thirsty as fuck and shoots her shot again. And they get super, super, super close. Like, they get caught in the tractor beam of gay staring at each other when they go reach for the prawns. And then it almost, biting of lips and stuff almost happens, but then Nop finds him. So, yeah. So as you can imagine, Sam takes that really well. And is such a gentlewoman about it.
Oh, yes, because she's not jealous at all.
No, she doesn't super jealously get out of the car and then get into it with him immediately. And is like, why are you acting like your boyfriend? She doesn't like you. She likes me. What the fuck? So like, she basically is like, Mon, tell him and right now that you're not into him because I feel like he doesn't quite get it. Like, explain it to him in words. And Mon is like, girl, what the fuck? She's like, listen, you can't. I need to talk to him privately. Like, what are you doing? And so she gets Sam to leave eventually, and which is funny. And then Nop is talking to her. Like, she sits him down and is like, they have the conversation, and Nop's basically like, Mon, what the fuck is your relationship with this noble woman? Because she's acting like your boyfriend, and I'm so confused. She was just trying to kiss you in the car. I'm so confused right now. And I think it's a little like pot calling the kettle black because he was literally trying to do the same thing with Mon, and now he's a little upset that he's like, well, she's doing it, and you're totally like into it. I'm confused. And poor Mon's caught in the middle, like, I don't understand my feelings, but all I know is that I don't like you like any more than a friend. And so she finally like, although like Lady Sam kind of like forces her hand a little bit, she does have the conversation with Nop and stands up for herself and basically is like, listen, you're like a brother to me. Nothing romantic will ever happen here. You need to like let that go. And when he's like, I don't want to talk about this, she's like, no, you need to hear this, because if not, you're basically gonna like hold on to this fantasy that's never gonna happen. And like, you just need to hear it. It's never gonna happen. We're just gonna be friends. And so I thought this was really good because it shows that like Mon, for all of her empathy, like you were saying, Cole, like that can be a double-edged sword where people could take advantage of the fact that you're empathetic, and it could put you in the role of like a people pleaser. Mon isn't that. Like Mon will stand up for herself, and she has the courage and ability to do that, which I think is really important. And this is a big step for her. That's really good. Something else I love in this scene is the super dramatic moment where she pushes him into the sprinkler. Like, yeah, it's so unnecessary and so hilarious because she pushes him, he falls, then the sprinkler starts going off directly in his face, and it's just like dramatic music, and it's just, I thought they were never going to talk again after this, but then they're like, fine, the next episode. So I thought this was super unnecessary and just really funny.
I want to go back to what you said about Mon not being a people pleaser, and I have to say that I love that they have someone who is really nice like Mon, but isn't a people pleaser, because it seems like those things go hand in hand in the media, and it portrays that to be nice, you need to make sure everyone else is happy.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think I blame the media for my people pleasing.
Yeah, especially with women, it's part of like patriarchy thing where women are supposed to absorb, especially men, their feelings and accommodate them and people please. It's very a culturally thing that's instilled. So I think it's really important to show that like Mon is very Mon has her own power when she wants to, and she wields it. It's like a soft type of power where she's standing up for herself, like, and she chooses to like act like that in moments that really count, like this one. So yeah, I agree. I'm glad she's not because she easily could be framed as one. All right, this is like the episode where just like Sam is jealous as fuck. So then we deal with the mob. We deal with the knob stuff. And then we go to work the next day. And Chin, this character bothers me, who's married, flirts with like all the women in the office, basically. And it gets excused, and I really can't stand it. But anyway, he flirt texts essentially with Mon by sending stickers, which apparently is like the biggest way to flirt with people. I missed this boat.
What kind of stickers?
Right. I have questions. We never got to see the stickers. But Sam is like, what the fuck? And so this sends her into another jealous rage where she basically just like starts terrorizing Mon and sending her a million stickers and like all of the stuff, and like gives Chin this impossible assignment to look up every sticker possible in Thailand, and she's just like going on a rage. And so she finally talks to Mon, and we have another moment where she actually like vocalizes her true feelings, where she's trying to talk to Mon, and Mon does the thing where she kind of looks away. It's like a submissive thing. And Sam takes her face and makes her look at her and basically says, I hate it when I talk to you and you face away from me. And Mon kind of like her demeanor really changes after Sam says this. And I think it's for her, Mon recognizes the moment as it's like Sam being honest, which has been a huge problem because Sam just says, she's a contrarian. She says exactly the opposite of what she means. But in this moment, she's telling Mon a direct truth. She's like, I hate it when you do this. Like, don't do this. And so that's when Mon chooses to initiate the gambit, where she does the nose biting thing. And she says like, it's like a reward, I guess. Like, it's like kind of a reward for like her being honest, I think. And then she's like, okay, now I'm going to be honest with you. Stop terrorizing your employee when you're jealous. Like, which telling her not to do that should be HR's job, not Mon's, but whatever. For me, I think it's very important that it's Mon who actually initiates like physical stuff here, especially in the office where they should not be doing any of this. But I think it's important that it's Mon who's like setting off the gambit. basically. Because like for me, it off centers they're like kind of like Sam's in charge, and so Sam gets what she wants in the office kind of thing. So I think that was a good Mon moment.
You didn't say my transition line. Speaking of balancing the power.
Yeah, offsets the power balance. That's what I said.
Okay, speaking of offsetting the balance of power, whatever it is. Despite Lady Sam being awful and threatening Mon, Mon was always confident with her opinions and words. Like, she never, like, just took it. She always made sure to stick up for herself. And one of my favorite moments is when Sam says their first article will be about bullying, and Mon just looks at Sam and goes, "But you're the bully." Like, it's just like, way to call her out, and I'm very happy that she said that. And I think it's a very good thing that they made Mon confident enough to say no and voice like what, like, her comfortability with things, or like it would have been even worse with Sam being in that power.
I agree. I don't think their relationship would have gone. I don't think Sam would have initiated anything at all if Mon wasn't like that. It's because Mon stands up for herself and has. It's really about the courage that Mon has, because Sam has zero. So I think that that's really what initiates Sam's interest. And so if Mon was just purely submissive, like everybody else in the office, because listen, if she had like Noi alone in the office and Sam was like interested and was like, "You're coming to my house because I said so," like she would just do it. She'd be like, "Yes, lady boss, whatever you want." But that's not what Sam's into. Like, Sam is into the fact that Mon stands up for herself. So I think there would be no relationship without that facet of Mon's personality, personally.
I think one other thing before we move on to the next part, I think the power imbalance also slightly like moves aside with that line for when I talk to you and you turn your face away from me, because I think you're right that it was a like submissive or like you're a person of power or like a respect type thing. Yeah. And then when she's like, "No, I want you to look at me when I'm talking or when we're conversing or whatever," I think that really helped solidify like that Lady Sam is starting to see Mon as an equal. Yeah. And I think that's also helping with her being able to put her foot down, Mon put her foot down and be like, "No, you're stupid." Like,
yeah. So no, absolutely. There's moments later, and I'll point them out, where Sam does exactly that, where she basically is physically demonstrating to Mon, like, she honestly gets to a point where she's like, "I see you as above me, like not even an equal." So yeah, you're right. This is like an "I see you" and like get on my level thing. Yeah, I agree. That's a really good take. All right. So now that these two disaster gays are at the face biting stage, obviously you have to have a mandatory gal pal sleepover. That's just how that goes.
That's the next show they're going to be in together. Sleepover.
Ooh. I'm here for any show they want to put out there. Anyway. Okay. So yeah, they're going to gal pal it up. So they go back to Sam's. And Sam's downstairs, just, I don't even know what she's doing, in her night clothes. And Mon emerges on the staircase in this like pink nightgown get-up dealie. So it implies
pink nightgown.
It fits her. First, I have a lot to say about this, because Sam admits that she bought it. But this nightgown implies many things. First of all, Sam bought this in advance, knowing Mon's favorite color, her size. Interesting. and with the knowledge that Mon was going to stay over again. So there's a lot of assumptions that Lady Sam put into buying the gown, which I fucking love. And it's also like not Sam's style. Like the style of it is very Mon. Like it's frilly. It's much more like feminine and fun and like colorful. And they've been on like two dates. It's cute. But like, it implies that Sam observes and is noticing a bunch of things about Mon and is like filing that shit away, and then it manifests in this gown that's like so very Mon. You know what I mean? So it says a lot about Sam.
Sorry. Mm-hmm. Do you think that she outsourced someone else?
Bye, Cole. We'll never know. Cole's gone. If you're listening at home and not watching this, you're probably really confused. I will probably edit that out. Or not. Who knows?
Do you think that Sam outsourced the buying of the, like, do you think Sam knew what to buy, or do you think she asked somebody?
No, I think Sam did it herself.
Sam? Okay.
I think Sam did it herself. I don't think she would. Go ahead.
I don't think she would trust anybody else to do it.
Mhm.
Also,
That's
like, she's like, I know what she wants. I love later when they're at the store and she just buys lingerie in front of Mom. Mom's like, we don't need that. She's like, yes, we do.
She also knows
Yeah, I
what
think
she
Mon-
wants.
Exactly.
She knows
Exactly.
she knows what Sam wants. Lady
Right.
Sam knows what Lady Sam wants.
No, I think she's too obsessed. I don't think she would trust anybody with that information. And she's like, they're gonna fuck it up. I'm gonna do it. I think she bought it
That's fair.
herself. Yeah.
That's fair.
When she had time to do that between all of her dates with Mon, that I don't know, but she definitely did it. She probably snuck out of the office and stashed it in the
Or
room.
ordered it online.
Yeah,
She could have
that's what I
ordered
was
it in
gonna say.
like
That's
online.
true.
or
That's true. It
something.
could have been I'm the queen or whatever. Send it to my house right now.
Yeah.
And they would do it. But yeah, she 100% did this. So for me, this is evidence that Sam is pre-U-hauling, essentially. And she's already carving out space for Mon, because this was probably like sitting in the wardrobe, like for her.
Mhm.
And they're not even dating yet. And Sam was already like making up space for Mon in her home, her like big private estate that nobody's ever allowed over, which is so huge. And I don't know that Sam is 100% conscious of like what she's actually doing here. Because again, her friends point out this is her personal space, and she's already like with, making a home for Mon without like Mon even knowing, and without her really knowing what she's doing. Like it's very interesting that like she's doing this on her own, kind of thing. All right. So then we get to the part where things get more balanced, shall we say. Mon's like, okay, listen, if we're going to be gal pals or whatever the fuck this is, whatever we're calling this, I'm going to need you to actually be honest with me, because I'm really tired of playing. Like, you're cute and this is fun and everything, but I'm really tired of playing the guessing game. Like, I'm fucking tired. Just tell me what you want. And Sam's like, okay, I need you to stay here more often. Like, that's what I want. And Mon's like, wow, okay, not what I was expecting. So she's like, can you also tell me what the fuck we are? Like, what do you mean you want me to stay here? You're buying me nightgowns. Like, we're quote unquote working at midnight at your house. Like we bite each other's faces. Like, what the fuck does this even mean? And I'm really mad at Sam, because Sam literally tries to gal pal Mon in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, girl, how are you trying to gal pal this? Like, she's like, it's fine. That's what women do. You have queer women friends. Like, what do you mean this is what women do?
I mean, just you
What a
wait. Like,
response.
the friends are like real into trying to help this sort itself out. So clearly they don't talk.
Right. I'm like, you've known T for how long? How is this confusing? It's one thing if it's like you're in a situation where you've never seen queerness and you legitimately don't know it's an option, but like, based on your friend group, like, why are you confused? That's what I don't mean. You've seen it. Why are you gal palling Mon here? I'm just like, Sam, what the fuck? And poor Mon. Mon's such a like, I guess, takes that as an I guess that's what we're doing answer. I guess this is what women do. I've never done this and I'm a woman, but okay, sure, whatever. I guess.
I think the only thing that would be more, I guess, relatable for me is if like Mon knew what was going on and is just kind of waiting and trying to get Sam to say what she's trying to say, versus Mon is
Genuinely confused.
also confused.
Yeah.
So I kind of am like, I feel like she's playing it a little safe then too, because she's like letting Sam try, like she's
lead.
waiting for Sam to lead, and she's
Yeah, that's
not
true.
like, it's almost like Sam should know more, but Sam seems to know less.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, because like Sam's older, all that kind of stuff. Also, I think I agree with what you're saying. I think on some level too, Mon doesn't feel like she deserves Sam. Like that persists for a very long time, because again, like, she's a noble woman, like she's older, wiser, like all that kind of quote. Sam's a dumbass, but like older, wiser kind of thing. I think it's intimidating for Mon. So I think she's like, even if she like put 2 and 2 together and it came up queer, I think that she's still like, what do you think this is? Because I know what I think this is. I've been having dreams about making out with you since I was 8. But what do you think this is? Because I don't want to like misinterpret what's happening here, because that would be awkward to misinterpret things with a princess or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that read also kind of makes sense. But also I think Mon is just fucking confused because they have conversations later where she's like, seriously, what is this? I don't know what this is. Like, what is this? What am I to you? What am I to you? I don't understand.
Just tell me.
Tell me. But she's getting closer. She's like getting Sam to actually like vocalize truths like without being like, you know, I don't know, like tricked into it, I guess. So yeah. So naturally, once you're like, we're gal pals, and you start eating each other's faces, because obviously, now that we've cleared that up by not clearing that up,
sure.
Yeah,
let's keep doing that game.
They start biting noses and then lips, and then of course it leads to their first actual kiss. Because I'm really surprised I haven't gotten to that point already. I
don't think they actually are kissing. It's more like instead of like, because like they keep doing it. Whoever's initiating it basically is like kind of that person is like kissing the bottom lip, but the other person's not moving. So they don't actually kiss for like a while, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Are you kissing if you're not both kissing then? Like, who?
That's not gay. That doesn't make it gay.
Like,
no homo.
They are definitely lesbians because holy wow, that is a lot of face caressing.
So much. There's at least 10 minutes of face caressing per episode. And gay staring. And this was cute when they were like playing with each other's cheeks and stuff because they both are giggling and like are like having fun, you know. I think it's really cute. All right. So let's wrap up this episode with Sam's birthday.
Sam's birthday, man. There's a lot of shit that goes down.
They sure do. So again, a running theme, Sam's friends are the actual best. And they throw her this party where they dress. The theme is like cheerleaders, which I don't understand. I love that T shows up like a tennis player or something, which that's T's interpretation of being a cheerleader. Everybody else has more traditional things on, and then Jim shows up with an old-fashioned like like a cashier's machine. And they're like, what the fuck are you? And she's like, I'm a cashier. Because there's cash in the machine and that was the gift, which is the funniest fucking thing ever. Oh my god. I love Jim.
I love her.
I love them. But I love that this is the thing. And what I also love is that they invited Yuki, because Yuki's also in like a cheerleader attire. So I love that not only did they adopt Mon immediately, but they all start adopting Yuki, which is also very cute. And I'm pretty sure her and T are already dating at this point. Let's keep it 100. Because she's glued to T's side the whole time they were at this party.
The first time they met, I feel like they went home together.
Oh, yeah. I think they went and had a 72-hour lesbian date and we were just off screen and we never saw it. Which is why I want their spinoff really badly.
Mm-hmm. That would be a good spinoff.
It would be amazing.
Of like what was happening on the same timeline as this show.
What was T's life like? And then T and Yuki.
Yeah.
I would love it. Okay. Then we get to cuteness with Sam and Mon. So like the gifts from all of Sam's friends go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just thinking, wouldn't you think that Yuki would be like, listen to Mon, like,
yes,
look,
right,
like, look at what's happening, look at me and T,
right,
like, do you not see any similarities? Like, is there nothing here? Like, hello, like, what? Like,
yes,
at this point, like, wouldn't you think that Yuki would have said anything to Mon? Because they're supposed to be really good friends. I understand Lady Sam, like, not wanting to hear it from T. I understand that.
Yes, totally. Because she's prickly.
Yeah, and T is very, like, I just do things with people and, like, blah, blah, blah. But, like, Yuki and Mon, like, that should be... They should have... Wouldn't you want to talk to your best friend about being queer all of a sudden?
Right. No, I totally could agree with that more. I just wonder if at this stage it could be excused by the fact that they're both wrapped up in their love interests. They're in the honeymoon stage. Her and T are definitely in the honeymoon stage. But yeah, why was there never a conversation with Yuki and Mon about like Mon's feelings? Because hello, like that person would 100% understand what you're going through and be like, Mon, that's not gal pal behavior. Like, she would have looked at, like, heard that conversation and been like, what the fuck are you talking about? You then, like, basically made out with her for 10 minutes and you think you're gal pals. Get out of here with this. She bought you a nightgown. Like, you know what I mean? And you're sleeping at her house every night.
Yeah. Gal pals.
I feel like
No worries.
That would have cleared up the whole rest of the show very quickly.
Right?
But yeah, I agree with that. Because, like, yeah, Sam was never going to Sam still feels threatened by T also, so, like, I don't think she could have that conversation with T. Okay. That's a really good point. All right, so then the gift giving. So basically the friends are wealthy people. So they all get Sam very just cash, and, like, they just give her a bunch of money. And then so Yuki kind of apologizes on behalf of Mom. She's like, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't get you anything. I was like, I'm pretty sure, like, T woke up and was like, crap, I'm going to Sam's party, you want to come? I'm pretty sure Yuki had no idea she was invited to this till like 5 minutes ago. So she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, like, you know, blame T. But she's like, me and Mon didn't get you anything, I'm sorry. And then Mon gets really embarrassed because, again, this is reinforcing that insecurity she has that I'm not worthy of Sam. Sam, like, look at Sam. She gets the cashier thing full of cash as her birthday present. I can't compete with that. Like, Sam doesn't pay me enough for this. So earlier in the episode, she's trying to buy Sam something. Anyway, gets caught by Sam. And then Sam's like, why don't you just give me money and I'll buy what I want? That way, like, we both win. You bought me something and then I get what I want because I buy it for myself. And Mon's like, whatever. So they meet outside and Sam, like, Mon's all sad. And then she's like, do you want to see what I bought? I bought lip gloss, basically. Strawberries. Strawberries are nice. And here's the change. And Mon's like, what the fuck is this? Like, what do you mean? And basically what Sam was like, well, I want to keep biting your lips and, like, I like strawberries. So, like, that's the gift. Like, basically saying, like, I want you. You're the gift. Like, you don't need to buy me anything. Because I have, like, she has the means to buy whatever the fuck she wants. She's like, what I want can't be bought is what she's essentially saying here. And she's demonstrating to Mon that level of maturity, I think. And I think that it's really important the way she handles this situation, because poor Mon's like, that is intimidating to be like, well, I'm dating royalty and I have nothing. This is, you know, the worst. So I think it's
also kind of, sorry.
No,
I was going to say, she's also kind of saying, like, you're enough.
Yeah.
Like, to just add to what you were saying about it. It's just like that Mon's enough. Like, just who she is enough. She doesn't have to get me anything extra because she's the gift, basically, as you said. But it's just, yeah.
Yeah, for all of Sam's lack of game and terrible flirting, she nails it here. Because she's demonstrating to Mon, like, I don't want anything from you. I just want you, essentially. And also the other thing that it's kind of demonstrating, which is interesting, is that Sam is not really interested in traditional courtship. Because, like, to court somebody, like, on their birthday, you would get them the best gift and, like, that kind of thing. And she's basically like, I don't give a shit about any of that. I just like you. Like, so I think this is a huge moment. And I love how Sam handles this, because up till now, she fumbles everything. So, like, this is a big moment for Sam. I think it was like, she's got game when she, like, figures her shit out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you want to add your last point? Or
no, you said it all.
Okay. It is adorable that she does put the lip gloss on and then, like, again, they're in public. And Sam's always like, we have to hide this, but fuck it. And then she's always like all over Mon in public. And I'm like, Sam, I love it. She can't contain her joy, which is beautiful. Yeah. All right. Well, there's plenty. That wraps up episode 5.
Oh, wait. But then we end with, I believe, is it Cade? Seeing them kiss?
Is that this episode? I don't think that's this episode.
Yeah, because then she goes in and then
oh yeah, you're right.
She gets offended and then offends Jim, and then that starts out the next episode.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. It ends in a jealous rage. Yet again, this is just the jealous. This is jealous Sam episode. The next episode is jealous Mon. That's right. Mm-hmm. They come back in, and then again, because the friends are like, you guys are being weird. And the queers have not had a queer on queer talk with these useless lesbians yet. who think they're gal pals. And then, yeah, you're right. It starts this whole thing where they're like, oh, that's fine. That's totally normal that you guys do that. And then Jim's like, okay, well, how about I just kiss Mon? Because like, if this is normal and this is just what we're doing, how about I kiss Mon? That sounds great. She's cute. And then she like goes to step towards Mon, and Sam like immediately like swacks her away. And later she's like, I don't know, I didn't think about it. My hand just moved. She's like, Mon's not a toy. And basically like says that, and then is like, fuck this, we're leaving, and grabs Mon, and they leave her own birthday party, which is wild. So it ends in a jealous rage, and it started in a jealous rage. So good job, writers.
Full circle.
Full circle. Sam has learned nothing. And the saga continues. Thank you, Kaitlynn.
Got a few more episodes. We got 6 more episodes, so you can't learn anything yet.
Okay,
7.
well,
Seven. I'm bad.
But does Sam ever unlearn the jealousy?
No.
No, I don't think that ever goes away. I think she's always just a jealous tyrant. I think Mon gets better at being like, stop it. Anyway, so that was Gap episode 5. We'll pick this up next time with 6, which is the jealous Mon episode, which is super fun. Jealousy is just fun, and we get to see it on both sides, and it's just delightful. So something to look forward to as we continue our discussion of Gap the series. So until next time, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
Get it up all over the place.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube. Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing, super gay content.
If you'd like to support us, check out our merch store, or join our Patreon for early access to episodes, exclusive content, and so much more.
Until next time, stay safe and hydrate for lesbian Jesus.